Okay, so you've got this page here, and you're like, what's going on? There's like 4 coins, and what's going on here? Everything's different colors and things. So let's try to explain what's going on here, okay? So I'm just going to take 1 coin, and I'm going to just sort of take out all of the bare elements out of it, okay? What's going on here is you've got 1 trait here, 1 trait here, 1 trait here, 1 trait here, and then you've got a bunch of stuff in between. What's going on? Let's take a look. Okay. So this is every single coin is the same thing. You've got the trait on each side, right? And what's going on the coin is going to be exactly the same on each coin. It's just these traits are going to be different, so it's going to affect what's going on differently. But this is going to be the commonality, the general pattern in all of the coins. Oh, okay, so here we've got this axis. Extrovert is here, introvert is down here, right? We've got judging up here, which it's not exactly well labeled, but you have down here is perceiving, okay? So what's going on? This is going to be your external senses, okay? And this is going to be people who are closer to these external senses in their processes. They're going to be more in the now and more open to the new, okay? So what's going on here? This is your external decider, your external processor, okay? This is what processes things externally. If you ever want to act in the world, this is what's going to let you act. If you want to raise your hand, this is what's going to help you raise your hand. If you want to play on a skateboard, if you want to talk, this is what's going to help you talk. That's this here. So you've got your senses coming in, and you've got your external processes right here, okay? Now what's going to happen is when these two combine, this doesn't act on its own. It's got to have some kind of stimulus, and this won't do anything on its own. It's got to have something to receive it, right? Your senses need to be received somehow. So when these two are acting together, you're going to be in this region right here, okay? This is going to be you focused on your environment and acting in your environment, and this is going to be you focused on yourself and processing internally, okay? So when you're out here, you're going to have 2 places. If you're going to be closer to here, you're going to be, both of them are going to be energetic, first of all. You're going to be very energetic. But here you're going to be experiencing your environment and observing, okay? You're going to be more in the experiencing of the environment, in the here and now, as much in the here and now as you can be. That's where you're going to be, you're going to be experiencing it and less acting on it, just more experiencing it and taking it in to your external decision, whatever that decision is, your external processor, okay? Here you're going to be more acting. You're going to be active. Your external decision is going to be acting, and it's going to be acting based on these external stimuli that you're getting, and you're going to be synergetically acting in the world. So you'll be experiencing and acting. This is going to be it doesn't matter if you're water skiing or if you're playing an instrument or something like that. This is what you're going to be doing. Okay, so that's what's going to be going on here. As we get over on this side, we're still in the now, we're still open to the new, okay, but we're objectively observing, right? Because we're bringing the information, instead of bringing it outside, we're bringing it into our internal decision, into our internal processes, okay? So our internal processes are going to be observing. You're going to be really close to the objective observing. You're just going to see what is, okay? Now here we're going to get into pre-processing, okay? This is where you're closer to your processor. You're still receiving the information from the outside, but now you're processing. You're actively examining, and you're inquisitive. You're figuring things out. You're looking at your environment and really thinking about the environment that you're looking at. So this whole side is really you being in the now, okay? And when people want to be in the zone, it's always talking about something over here, okay? Usually these two over here, but mostly maybe this one here, okay? Now we're going to get into the back end, okay? This is what's going to go on more on the inside. So this here is the introverted side. These are going to be your two introverted traits. You're going to have an introverted processor, a decider, and an introverted observer, okay? This is going to be you. What's being observed on the inside. It's going to be what you're memorizing, what you remember. This is going to be knowledge. So if you're closer to here, you're going to be more focused on knowledge. This is more focused on new things, new experiences. It's going to be more focused on old experience and old knowledge. Okay, so here you're going to have your introspective processing. What does that mean? You've taken information in already, and now you're interacting between these two. You're interacting with all the knowledge that you already have, and all that knowledge is going to be brought here to this processor right here, and you're going to start processing that knowledge over and over and over again. Okay, you're going to be very introspective and really in touch with yourself. These are going to be the people down here are going to be the people who are focused on themselves. They're going to be very in touch with themselves. Okay. Here you're going to be reviewing. It's more going to be observing what you remember, what's going on inside, seeing yourself, right? It's going to be more observing yourself as well. And it's going to be reviewing. It's going to be organizing. You're going to be going over things and organizing things that are in your mind, remembering things and reviewing things, okay? Now here is very interesting because this is where your internal world is going to be able to act on the external world, okay? So you have this internal database, this internal knowledge, and this knowledge is going to be taken by this external actor, and it's going to take this information and act. It's going to come this way. So if you're closer to the knowledge and the information, you're going to have full control over the environment. So right here, you're going to be able to have a lot of control over what you're going to do. You're going to know what you're going to do, and you're going to do it, right? And if it's speaking, you're going to speak very clearly about the knowledge. If it's building something or doing something based on an internal idea or concept, it's going to be very controlled, and you're going to have full control over what's going on outside. So this is more an external trait. So it's what's practical or what people are like. So I mean, if like I saw some videos and things where they were typing Dave Superpowers. All this information, by the way, comes from Dave Superpowers. It's just really me trying to understand it and putting it into some framework. So really, I owe a lot of thanks to him. But here I remember seeing that this is where the mentalists are. They're going to have control over the environment. And what's their environment? People. They're going to be able to control people. These are going to be the master manipulators because they're going to have this clear concept of what people are and how people work, and they're going to be able to act on them in that way. Okay. Here's going to be the active engagement influence. Okay. So here you're going to see people who are really actively engaged in control. This is the control section. So they're going to be actively controlling their environment in an active way. This is more like a passive, planning ahead how I'm going to do things, right? This is now active. This is just someone talking. This is someone doing. All right. If you want to go out and see someone who does something and engages in the world based on some plan they have, that's here. If you have this plan and you want to go and do this plan, that's here. This is you acting and engaging this plan. This is still acting and engaging, but it's less with a plan and it's more with what you're seeing in the real time. Okay. So if you're like in military combat or something, you might be here, or you might even be here waiting. Like if you're a sniper in a nest, so you'll be really alert and here. If you're alert at all, you could just be daydreaming down here. But if you're alert and in the zone, you'll be here. And then if you really need to act and react really quickly, you'll be here. But this is more, you've got a plan and you're acting and you're doing and you're talking. Okay. I'm going to go, okay. So I circled all of these so that they would stay out of the way. And then here I'm talking about information, how information is going to, new information is going to come into where you're going to look for new information, what your goal is in this zone. Okay. So in this zone here, you're going to want to find it. You're going to be objectively observing, and you're going to want to find new things. You're going to try to discover new things. Okay. Here, you're going to be more on the processing side. You're going to try to learn new things. Yeah. So all of you're thinking, okay, the secret to life, everything is going to be from learning new things. And that's what I'm going to spend my time doing. So here, when you're here, you're learning. Here, it's going to be figuring things out. You can process and process. Where's all the new stuff going to come? Where is your purpose in life going to be? From figuring things out. That's what you're going to think if you're in this zone. Here, what are you going to think of new information is when you remember that information. You're going to go back and you're like, oh, I remember this really cool thing, and then that's what's going to go on. Or you've managed to organize things in a specific way, and you're like, hey, look at this cool chart I've made, this too cool graph, right? It's really interesting to think your purpose of life is remembering something. But I mean, yeah, that's what people who are here, that's what they're going to see. Okay, so here, people are going to learn and new things by trying it. They're going to experiment. They're going to try and try to figure things out by trying, right? That didn't work. Let's try something new. That didn't work. Let's try something new. And slowly but surely, you'll figure out how to properly act in the world by figuring new things out here. Right here, you're going to figure out new things by just saying it. You're like, okay, well, I probably have some cool thing in my mind somewhere. I'm going to start talking, blah, 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 blah. And eventually something cool is going to come out, right? And so it's not just talking, it's also acting. Oh, I'm going to go and do some stuff, and I'm going to build a tower. So you start building a tower. You don't know what you're doing. You got no clue. And eventually you're like, oh, okay, something cool is going to come out of this tower I'm building. Okay. So here, how is something going to come out? Doing it. Do it. Just go and do it, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a good idea or a bad idea. Just go and do, and then something cool is going to come out, right? And here it's going to be more experiencing it. Something new is going to come out, right? This is the observing side, being in the now. So here you're going to try to spot it and see it and detect it somehow. And here you're going to try to experience it. You're going to be the first one to climb Mount Everest, or the first one to go to Mars, or something like that. It's going to be here. This is where the new stuff is going to come from, experiencing it. Okay. So now when we go back to our idea here, I'm going to zoom in just so that we can see it a little bit better. We go back to our coins. So now you're going to see that now these coins have these traits on them. And what the traits are is really, what these are is exactly what I said before, right? This is taking information in, processing it, storing it, bringing out that information and acting in the world. And here it's just being in the world and interacting with the world and experiencing the world, okay? So each one of us is going to have one of the, like, there are four configurations that are possible. Each one of us is going to be on one of these coins, okay? One of these, and we're going to have a preferred region, which means that we're going to have a weak region. I don't know where your preferred region is or who you are, because there's plenty of you, but I know where mine is. And if I spoke to you individually, I could be like, hey, maybe this is you here. I don't know. But if you know who you are and where you are, then you can see, oh, this is what I'm doing most of my time. Oh, this is what I'm doing when I'm over here, because these are the traits I have over here, and this is what's going on over here. Oh, maybe I can change my traits. I'll flip the coin up this way. I'll flip the coin over here. Okay? And so that's what's going on. So if you look at any of my other videos and you see me talking about this coin, now you have this diagram. I'm going to post a link to it. This diagram here. You're going to be able to refer back to it and be like, okay, that's what's going on. All right. So yeah, good luck trying to figure yourself out and figuring out people close to you and growing and becoming stronger and more well-rounded people. Have a good one. Bye.